Drilling circle commands. The drilling circle and spot boring circle commands G91 has a format G91 G, X, Y, Z, R, F, K. Here, X, Y specify the hole position, Z specify the hole depth, F specifies the feed rate, millimeter per minute. R specified the distance from the initial plane to the R point, and K specifies the number of repetitions, used only when repetition is needed. G can be G98 or G99. The G98 and G99 commands control whether the tool returns to the initial plane or the reference plane after the whole machining circle is complete, with G98 returning to the initial plane default and G99 returning to the reference plane. Programming can be done using absolute coordinates G90 or relative coordinates G91, with absolute coordinates being recommended. The operation process is shown in the diagram. The drill quickly positions itself at the starting point of the whole machining circle, then quickly moves in the Z direction to the reference plane R for drilling. After the feed end, the drill quickly retracts to the reference plane R or the initial plane. G89 is generally used for machining holes with a depth less than 5 times the diameter. The high-speed drilling circle commands G73 has the format G73 X, Y, Z, R, Q, F, K. Here, X and Y are the hole position data, Z is the hole depth, R is the distance from the initial plane to the R point. Q is cutting depth per pass, usually 23 mm. F is the cutting feed rate. The hole machining actions are shown in the diagram. The G73 command is used for deep hole drilling, with intermittent feed in the Z-X direction, adding in trip breaking and removal during deep hole machining. The Q command specifies the incremental cutting depth per pass, positive value, and the retraction distance D is set internally by the CNC system. The deep hole drilling circle command GA3 has a format GA3 X, Y, Z, R, P, Q, F, K. Here, X and Y are the hole position date, Z is the hole depth, R is the distance from the initial plane to the R point, P is the dwell time, Q is the cutting depth per pass, F is the cutting feed rate, and K is the number of repetitions, used only when repetition is needed. The GA3 command execution process is as follows. Step 1. The drill quickly positions itself at the initial point. Step 2. The drill quickly moves in the Z direction to the reference plane R. Step 3. Hole machining with a feed depth of Q. Step 4. Retract to the reference plane. Step 4. Quickly advance the tool to point D. Step 6. Repeat steps 3 and 4 until the required machining depth is reached. Step 7. The drill quickly retracts to the reference plane R, or the initial plane, completing the machining. The difference between G83 and G73 is that after completing a Q depth and retracting to the R point, the tool quickly advances to point D and switches to cutting feed. This method allows the drill to exit the workpiece, which is beneficial for trip removal and cooling. Therefore, the GA3 command is suitable for high-speed deep hole machining. The drilling circle and boring step-dead holes command GA2 has the format GA2 GXYZ RPFK. This command has a devolved action at the hole bottom, meaning that when the counterbore tool reaches the hole bottom, the tool stops feeding but continues rotating, making the whole button smoother. GA2 is generally used for rimming and countersinking. In this format, P specifies the dwell time at the whole button in milliseconds, and the other parameters are the same as in GA1. GA2 is typically used for rimming and countersinking.